So I think at this point, we pretty much know that there is a lot of hype around Kubernetes and just orchestration in general, right? I mean, HashiCorp Nomad is definitely becoming increasingly popular. Different tools like Rancher, Portainer are becoming increasingly popular. Like the Kubernetes ecosystem is just growing rapidly. I mean, I always tell everybody, if you spend like 30 minutes on Twitter and you keep refreshing, you're going to come across 1 to 3 tools that you didn't know existed before. So it just is what it is. There's a lot of really cool technology out there and a lot of really cool tools helping make this technology easier. But what I would like from you is to just stay with me and take a step back, right? What do you need to actually use Kubernetes? Well, you need containers, right? You need container images and you need containers to run inside of Kubernetes. That's the whole idea of Kubernetes. Kubernetes gives you the ability to orchestrate, scale, self-heal, manage containers at an API level, right? Everything that you do in Kubernetes is API specific. So before we even think about Kubernetes, we have to think about containers. Now, specifically, container security. Now, I have some statistics here. 24% of serious container security issues were vulnerabilities that could be remediated. 70% were misconfigurations. 27% were runtime security incidents. Now, that's important for everybody in an organization. For you as the engineer, for the CTO, for the CIO, etc. There are a lot of people that want to understand what's happening inside of their code. So it's super crucial. And because they want to know what's happening inside of their code, they want to know what's happening inside of their container, because as people run containers and, they build a container image and all that, it's crucial. That's where their application is running. Now, here's another thing that I was thinking about last night, actually, before, when I was thinking about creating this video. We typically use base images, right? We have, we use like Ubuntu latest or Go latest or whatever. We use some base image that's on Docker Hub to build our Docker file for our application. Now, let me ask you a question. When's the last time that you scanned that Docker image? Because remember, who created that Docker image? Well, just an engineer, right? Multiple engineers. So people make mistakes and things happen, and applications and container images have vulnerabilities. So my point is that and I'm not talking smack about anybody that created these container images, but my point is that anything can have a vulnerability, and we're kind of just like blindly trusting what's in Docker Hub, and we kind of gotta like not do that anymore. So let's go ahead and learn how to do that. Now, first things first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run Docker image ls. Okay, and I got a bunch of stuff here, apologies, but really the one that I care about is my admin turn DevOps / Go Web API. All right, now that's actually a Docker image that I created for a Go Web app. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clear this. And the first thing that I want to run is I'm going to run Docker image inspect. Docker image inspect. Okay. Now, this is very crucial, I think, when you're figuring out what applications go to what, right? Like what registry the container image is in. Is it the right version? Does it have the right SHA-256? And I think this is a really great identifier here. Okay. Now, essentially what this is saying is this SHA-256 is what I should be pulling from, right? Like that should be the container image that I'm expecting. And how can I check that? Well, I can actually check this against Docker Hub. Now, another tool that I like to be able to check, so we kind of were able to see the SHA-256. We can check that against what's in Docker Hub. But there's another way, and it's actually with the Docker scan commands. Now, funny enough, with the Docker scan command, it's actually using a tool called, I think it's pronounced SNCC. I could be wrong. SNYK. And if you go ahead and you take a look at SNCC, again, I'm sorry if that's not how it's pronounced, but if you go ahead and if you take a look at that tool, it's for things like container scanning. And what's really cool is that Docker and SNCC teamed up with each other, and they were able to like embed the command inside of a Docker command. So instead of having to go use a different CLI, for example, if you just run Docker scan, it'll automatically pick up SNCC for you. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. Admin turn DevOps, go web API. And as you can see, you need to be logged into Docker Hub to be able to do this. So if you aren't, you can sign up for, free account. Feel free to do that. All right. And as we can see, we are logged in. So let's go ahead and give this another shot. As we can see, it is analyzing our container dependencies. We'll go ahead and we'll give this a few minutes here. Okay, and as we can see, we have a bunch of vulnerabilities here. We have 105 vulnerabilities. So there are definitely some critical vulnerabilities, right? We have a high severity vulnerability here. And then we have a couple of low severities. Now, here's the thing, depending on this security team inside of your organization, some of these are going to matter, some of these they're going to know about, some of these, you got to bypass, etc. But this will give you a solid baseline on how to think about container security and a few different tools to help you get started, because at the end of the day, I do believe that this is incredibly crucial. Thank you so much for watching.